I remember this one time where I had a show, right? And I had rehearsed and rehearsed and rehearsed for it. And the craziest thing happened. I get to the venue and it's my turn to go up. And I forgot my lyrics. I later found out, or actually realized, that it was my anxiety. But there was another piece to that equation. I doubted myself. You see, I did not have the confidence to execute the performance the way that I visualized it and also rehearsed it. That's what today's episode is all about. Doubting yourself. And joining us on the show today is a radio host and DJ who knows this feeling all too well, Mr. DJ COS. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Wise, and this is the LikeMinds podcast. Roll the clip.
Bring the chorus in.
Keep on shining.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. My name is Wise, and this is the LikeMinds podcast. Now, to my left, I have a radio host and DJ, a man that's leaning mean on the ones and twos, Mr. DJ COS. What's up, brother?
What's good, man?
How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm good. You living. I see you with the shades on. the vibe is there.
Yeah, man.
Listen, man, today's episode, and to the people I want to talk to as well, today's episode is all about doubting yourself.
Yeah.
How well do you know that?
I mean, everybody knows it. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I've definitely dealt with it. Being in my line of work, always, being around a lot of people, being in the public, having to perform in front of crowds. That's always a thing. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Always having that expectation to produce. You know what I mean? To live up to expectations, not only professionally but personally too, man. I mean, I'm a father, and you know what I mean, all that stuff that comes with that too. So, I definitely know about it, but I've gotten a lot better as I get older. So
love it. I love to hear it. Now, and we're gonna go into all those details, but just for the people who don't know you, explain who DJ COS is.
Well, Colorado native first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know, get familiar because it's Colorado versus everybody.
Colorado versus everybody. I get that. Yes, sir.
I've been a DJ for almost, 13, 14 years now.
Okay.
Father of four, and yeah, man, got my own little squad. You know what I mean? And yeah, a regular guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not anything special.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Just try to be a better man every single day, and that's kind of my deal, man. But a lot of people know me as DJ COS, hosted radio shows, DJ, like I said, for a long time, and I would like to think pretty well known in the Colorado music scene. You
are a pillar in the community, sir. Let's not forget that.
I appreciate that. Yeah,
let's not be too humble.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean. So, but okay, so let's go back just a little bit. Explain your upbringing in Colorado and tying into what we're talking about, doubt. Like, when did that start for you in terms of like your in your early years, even as a child or young teen, especially when you started getting into the scene of hip hop and DJing?
Right. So, I mean, I guess we'll go all the way, before the DJ bug hit me. I mean, being a kid, I think you become most aware of it as a young boy, a man, whatever, when you start noticing females, you know what I mean? You start going to school.
Yes.
Now all of a sudden it's like, well, I'm not only here for my boys. There's ladies up
some
in
girls
here too.
around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So making sure your fit is right and the hair's looking good, and all of the things that come with middle school, high school, trying to impress the girls, and like I said, I think just like everybody else. Sometimes you're not feeling yourself. You know what I mean? You wake up and the fit just ain't right. You need a haircut. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
I get it. No,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. The pickup game at recess.
Oh my gosh, the pickup
you
game.
know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
You want to eat a snack with me?
Yeah, I'm saying like maybe I need 2 bowls of Wheaties today. You know what I'm saying? So that always,
Yes, sir.
Like I said, it hits me just like it hits everybody else. It definitely got amped up though when I started DJing. Like I said, being in the public eye, performing on a stage.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it comes with a lot of pressure. It comes with a lot of expectation. As a DJ, you're kind of thrown up there, and you're like, I now entertain this massive people.
And they're all looking at you.
Exactly, yeah.
And then you better be ready.
You know, it could be 10 people, it could be 1,000 people. But either way, you know, they most likely paid money to be where they're at, or they came to be entertained, and it's expected to entertain them. So, especially with like the big opportunities, the big shows as my career went on.
Yes, sir.
Again, you always have that, that doubt a little bit before, like, yo, am I good enough to do this? Mm-hmm. Am I prepared enough? Right? Is my set good? Do I look good up here? Do I sound good? Do I have all the things that I need? So there ain't no mess ups because I'm on stage and this is a live thing.
It's real time. It's real time.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand, like especially with DJing, it ain't just now it is. It's the button pushers and
sure.
It's that. But I'm talking about back when you had Technique 1200s and you had to use the crayon or you had to use the marker and you had to be on people don't understand, like, it's not just he just playing music.
Yeah.
No, bro, it's BPM timing, it's tempos, it's everything in terms of that, right? So tell me, as in a transition to that, your first DJ gig. Remember?
Oh man, my first one?
Your first one. And you can even do 2. I even let you do 2. Okay. So you can do a first one like, all right, I just got my decks and I'm learning how to DJ, and somebody said yes. And then the second real first time was, oh snap, somebody paying me.
Exactly. Okay, I got you, man. Mm-hmm. I mean, the first one I did a house party in Wyoming.
Okay.
And it was all friends and family, and nobody was paying me, and I didn't have a DJ name and none of that stuff. You know what I mean? It was DJ Marcos or whatever. And they were just like, yo, like, you got these CDJs, entertain us, man. Play some music for the house party. It's New Year's Eve. So that's what I did, and it was cool. It ended up being cool. Like, everyone had a good time. But
was there any nerves in your first set, like just doing it the first time?
Yeah, of course, man. Because again, even though I knew everybody and they were all friends and stuff, it's still like, okay, well,
I don't want to mess
up. I got
up.
picked to set the party off,
right?
And everyone was like, all right, well, let's see what you got this stuff, so let's see you use it. And I'm sure at one point I was like, yo, I got this stuff, let me do it,
right?
But then at that point, that goes out the window, and now everyone's looking at you, and you're like, yo, what did I get myself into? You feel me? But it ended up turning out good. As far as like my first time getting paid, so a lot of people that know me, they know I have a mentor and a partner that got me into it, and it was DJ Dings. Mm-hmm. And
shout out to DJ Dings.
Yeah, shout out to DJ Dings, Dings and COS. Everybody knows what's up with that. But me and him started out, I was like his helper, right? I just used to come with him. And every now and then, if he needed to step off and use the bathroom or go holler at a chick at the bar or whatever, he's like, yo, just play a couple songs, man. Ain't no thing. So I didn't have any expectation because, it wasn't.
You just kind of got thrown into it.
At the time, it wasn't Dings and COS. It was DJ Dings, and then there's some other guy back there with him. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
But then me and him started doing it as a thing. I got my own equipment, and we started doing multiple bars on the same night, so we had to split up because we started making some some moves or whatever. The first time I had to do it by myself, I had a lot of nerves because, again, Dings taught me all the business, and I was fortunate to have him standing right next to me, learning and telling me, hey, don't play all the hits too early. Make sure you remember the requests, all of those things. So now I'm doing it by myself, right?
Right.
And I'm going through the checklist like I'm about to like give a presentation to, something how to Google or something, right? And in reality, I'm playing like a dive bar off of Sheridan called Jugs,
Oh, I don't even know. I've never even heard of that place.
So, but yeah, I mean, I'm like, all right, make sure you don't play all the hits and make sure this is plugged into this and this. You know what I mean? Again, at that time, it was the first time I was doing everything by myself, plugging in the speakers, getting everything set up. And yeah, man, you doubt yourself. You doubt if you're ready to do it by yourself. And I asked myself probably about 20 times, can I do this without dings? You know what I mean? And to be perfectly honest, I didn't realize I could do it without dings until the end of the night, until the bar owner was like, hey, man, good job. Here's your money. You know what I mean?
What?
We'll see you next week.
And that was the start of everything. That was the start of everything.
Yeah. Well, yeah. As for me doing it the first time by myself, you feel me?
Okay.
And then once we did that, obviously things started rolling. We do stuff together. We do things solo. And yeah, it turned into Dings and COS eventually grew into just DJ COS. And me and him have always worked together throughout my career and been friends. But yeah, it started that.
It started with that.
Right.
What was that? Was that also your first quote unquote introduction to hip hop in a way? Or was that way early?
Yeah, nah, man. I mean, hip hop's always been a part of my life since I was a young kid.
Yes, sir.
Listening to hip hop, listening to different artists. And again, I'm 40, man. So I can sit here and say I have seen hip hop grow from its infancy to what it is today.
And that's a blessing in itself, man.
It really is,
a lot of
yeah.
people don't see that. A lot of people don't see the the strides that hip hop is making. I'm not even gonna lie. I think hip hop is it's kind of getting on a downward slide to me,
Sure.
to me personally. But I still love it. I still love all the elements of it, and just what it's bringing to the table. For these new artists and even these older artists who don't get the credit sometimes. It's like come on. Now, worst experience DJing, like the absolute worst joint. It could be the funniest story. It could be like the most stupidest story. What was your worst experience DJing?
Okay. Well, let's see. It was definitely early in the career.
Okay.
Again, doing a dive bar, setting up everything by myself. About 5 different things happened throughout the night. It just wasn't a good night. My computer, it didn't crash, but it freaked out twice. So, music just stops and everyone's like,
whoa, what you doing?
And that's the other thing. The first time it happened, it was kind of early in the night, so not a huge deal.
Right.
But then the next time it happened, I had a packed dance floor.
Oh,
and
peak hours.
Yeah. And the screen went black and I'm like, what the hell is going on? And everyone turns and is like, oh, what's the problem? And again, so you were saying, the new DJs with the computer and all the technology. Yeah, man, I don't have records here. I'm working off of CDJs or whatever, and I need the laptop because the sound
is through everything. Yeah.
So now it's dead air, nothing happening for a good 5 minutes, right? And that kills a party. And it also makes me look like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Right. And the promoter and the DJ, everybody's looking at you you're like what is going on?
What's the problem? And so it started taking a minute. So the bartender thought she was gonna be cute, and she turns on the jukebox, right? And I'm like, oh wow, okay,
that's disrespectful.
Yeah, a little bit. So I'm hustling to try to get everything going. Everything works. It's cool. All right, bet, fine, right? Party starts going again. People, a couple people left or whatever, but other than that, people was there. They was having a good time. They was vibing. So I got people dancing again. It's all good. Some girl comes up. Had too many drinks. She reaches over the table and she wants to play DJ for a second, and she yanks it back and tries to scratches. Again, I'm not the first time ever dealing with something like this, so I didn't know what to do. So I slapped her hand away. Well, her boyfriend's there, and now it's all of a sudden
the
DJ's
brawl.
swiping at me. You know what I mean? With a problem. So now I got this girl. She's drunk, yelling at me. Her boyfriend is trying to come around the side of the DJ booth to holler at me, why?
Why'd you do that?
And so now I'm trying to get security, yo, can you deal with this? I'm trying to work here. And I'm trying to tell dude, hey, man, I ain't hit your girl.
You just moved your hand
touched my equipment, bro. What do you want me to do?
You're not supposed to touch
He ain't
DJ
trying
equipment.
to hear that. We in a hood spot, right?
Yeah.
This is not respect the DJ. This is a profession. He's like, yo, dog, what's the problem? We can handle it.
Right.
So I'm dealing with that. Anyway, long story short, at the very end of the night, Big fight breaks out.
Okay.
Right, bar closes probably about half hour early because this fight breaks out. Clears everybody out. Cops come, and I'm illegally parked, so I get a ticket at the end of the night as well. So my computer crashes twice.
Almost got into a fight.
Yeah, almost got my ass kicked because of this drunk girl. A big fight breaks out and clears out the bar before it should be closed. And I got a parking ticket that pretty much was about the same amount that I got paid for the night. So that one was pretty bad. That's
I'm sorry.
That's one of those DJ's worst nightmares, man. When your equipment goes out, there's no worse feeling.
That's like, it's the anxiety. It's kind of like an artist on stage. It's like, yeah, like either
If your
like,
mic
cuts out,
or yeah, like you was talking about in the intro, man. Like you just go blank, and you're like, I wrote this song.
I performed it. I mixed it. I did everything with it. I should know.
100 takes to record it. You know what I mean? All of that stuff. And now all of a sudden your brain just goes blank and you're like,
that's what happens.
Yeah.
What, so let's just pivot like just a little bit.
All right.
So when it comes to, well, actually, no, let's stay on course with the DJing. So when it comes to DJing, when did you think that, oh snap, I can like do this on a professional level, and I should probably have a brand, and I should probably start booking gigs and all these things?
You know, it was I would say about 6 months to a year after me and Dings was like officially Dings and COS, and we was getting paid together to DJ bars, and then I started kind of venturing out solo, but we were still doing Dings and COS and stuff like that. I mean, at that point, it started to turn into a thing. I had some people approach me. There's this girl that used to come to the same bar that I DJ'd at every time. She was a regular. And she used to come, and she would always, like dance and like how I DJ'd and all that stuff. So anyway, she hits me up. She's like, yo, my brother is a rapper. He wants to do a album release party. He wants you to DJ. He wants to perform live. And this was the first time that I was ever approached to do a live performance type thing with rappers, local rappers.
Yes, sir.
So, I was like, all right, cool, let's do it. He has a following. He ends up bringing a bunch of people. The night is a success. And it just clicks for me. I'm like, yo, this might be the avenue that I'm looking for, because the one thing with DJing is it's kind of it's a fraternity a little bit. You know what I mean? And the old school DJs that have been doing it since the 80s, those DJs that, like you were saying, was on the vinyl, and they had, carried in crates and crates of records to every party and all of that. Gosh. Those DJs are looking at me like, this is a button pusher DJ. He's never worked on turntables. He comes in with CDJs or a computer, and so he's not really a DJ.
I can't stand that conversation. Yeah. That just don't make sense to me.
So I was trying to find like my avenue, right? Because all the old heads are not showing me love at all, right? And very few were willing to kind of school me, right? Or give me tips or whatever, right?
Okay.
Because they're looking at me as competition. So I mean, I get it.
And you will be fresher, younger competition, and also you have quicker technology that
yes and no.
Yes and no.
Yeah, but really what they're looking at is, well, if this dude comes in and the crowd likes him better, now I'm out of a gig, because, there's only so many bars in Denver. And there's only so many bars that like DJs that play hip hop.
Oh, you know what I mean? You limit yourself right there just by that genre alone.
So, and me coming in to the game, I had to work outer Denver, Thornton, North Glen, Aurora, right? I wasn't downtown. I wasn't in Lodo, because that's all top 40 established DJ territory. The people weren't checking for me there. I had to do the little bars in Thornton and North Glen, Westminster, Arvada, the outer spots.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That were more bars than clubs. So again, now the pond has gotten even smaller, but there's still a bunch of fish in it. DJ fish, you feel me? So like I said, I'm trying to find my avenue, and I see that the local hip hop scene is growing, but it's also it's starving. It's thirsty, right? It needs more exposure.
It does need more exposure.
And so I started working with this artist named Fade, and he kind of, helped me put me on. He started throwing his own shows. He started having me be the DJ. And then I had some other artists approach me asking me to be their exclusive DJ, their group DJ, the official DJ.
Right, the official DJ of the whatever group.
Yeah, all of
rapper.
that stuff. So I quickly was like, all right, this is what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
This is the avenue I'm going to move into, and we're going to do local hip hop stuff. And that's where I really started to build my brand, and my name started building up and started ringing out, and it quickly became known in the Colorado hip hop community as DJ COS shows love, and
he gonna make sure your set is right.
Yeah,
and you DJ for me, and you DJ for like just all the
a lot of people.
Like
I don't know all of your guests, but I mean Hash.
Yeah,
him have done
for sure.
Numerous shows. Have you had July on?
Who?
July?
Haven't had
okay.
one.
But I mean Hash. Right?
Yeah,
and anybody you can think of.
yeah, and the whole S7 Crystal shots, all the fam over there. S7.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so let's see if we can really pivot like just a little bit.
Okay.
In terms of doubt, right?
Mm-hmm.
What does that do to a DJ's mind when like a set falls short, or like they mess up a mix, or they don't scratch right? What do you believe that does for a DJ in terms of doubt, and how does that shape them going forward?
Yeah, it can definitely be a domino effect, right? You have I know after the bad night that I had, it took me like 3-4 gigs to go smoothly before I fully shook that, right? Because I'm constantly worried. Is my computer gonna crash again?
That anxiety,
right?
man, it's a
now
killer.
I'm looking out like, who's had too much to drink? Who's trying to do too much? Whatever. And I start becoming more aware of other things. But yeah, beforehand, of course, man, you doubt yourself. Like, do these people really like me? Is there gonna be a crowd tonight? Especially early on, you are judged by how many people are in the bar. You know what I mean? How many people come to the bar? How many people come to the club that night? If your stuff is dead, you are now perceived as a whack DJ because you can't pull a crowd.
But that's not even on you. That's
of course
that's promoter. That's promoter.
It could be a promoter. It could be
the venue.
The
is
bar.
Just the bar
it could be
itself.
everything. Yeah,
the food could be bad. Like
everything. Yeah, there's so many reasons why you couldn't have a successful night. But in this game and with the public, it is quickly perceived of, well, that spot is dead because that DJ is whack.
DJ whack.
Yeah. So now, right before Friday night, I'm hitting up all my people like, yo, you should come. I'm hitting up the bar owner like, can we do some sort of cool special to like try to get people in? Can we do, something for the ladies? Because everybody knows when girls are there, that's when everybody else
show up. Yeah.
And that's the hardest part is to get the girls there. So, all of those things. And now I am trying to control things that I don't have control over at all. And honestly, I shouldn't be worrying about. I should not be
You should be worrying about
drink specials.
Right.
But I am because, again, perception is if you can't get people in there, then you're whack. And also for a DJ, an empty dance floor is a horrible. It's
horrible.
You hate to look up and nobody's dancing or just one or
I've
two
had
people's
that.
dancing.
Yeah, I've seen that happen. It's
Same thing with performing, right? If you got a bunch of people and they're all sitting at the table and you're here on the stage and there's like 2 people,
it feels distant.
There,
it feels like I can't connect, and I don't know what to do at this point. It's like I don't even want to perform.
Right, or human nature takes over, and now you're on the mic and you're telling people, "Hey, get up,
get up here." Yep, exactly.
And now all of a sudden you're a dude staying on stage telling people what to do, and there's nothing more unattractive about that, right? So now they're really not going to get up. They're just going to start being like, dog, get on with it.
Get on with your set.
Right. So as a DJ, I can't do that. I can't jump on the mic and be like, hey, everybody get up and dance. Nah. Now I'm like, all right, well, now I got to play. What can I play? What's going to get these people going, right? Who's out in the crowd? Who's going to, you know what I mean? Should I do some Spanish music? You know what I mean? There's a lot of Latinos in here. Like, let's get some Selena on.
Right, let's get them moving.
What's my crowd like? All of those things are a part of it. And it can quickly overwhelm you, and you have anxiety, or you start to self-doubt if things don't start working. You know what I mean? If
I'm like that, especially like immediately. If it's not hitting the way I want it to hit, I'm like, okay, I get mad real quick, and
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, what is going on?
It could be very frustrating, and it could be depressing at times too.
And sometimes it's not even to that point. Sometimes it's not you. Sometimes it's the people around you. It's like,
Yeah.
why am I worried about this? Or if you're in my circle, if I need you to do something, I need to take care of it so I can worry about this.
Right.
And if I can't do that, and elaborate on that depression for me of how that of just how that circulates and how you actually overcome it.
Sure. Well, like you said, in our business, whether it be performing, DJing, whatever, you have so many people in our industry, right? I mean, everyone's a rapper now. Everyone's a DJ now,
everyone
right?
wants
I mean,
to do it.
it's so music is so accessible now, and so it's easy to do. You are constantly also worried about the next guy. What are they doing that you're not doing, and why is he getting more likes, more views?
Why is he getting
more
the
people
bookings?
at the bar? Exactly, right? Like, why? What is he doing that I'm not doing? Is it because he's younger? Is it because, in my case, a lot of it up here, and I know people are going to say, whoa. For me,
Yes, sir.
if I didn't get gigs in Denver and Aurora, I started to wonder, is it because I'm not a black DJ? Is it because I'm Latino? And that's honest,
It's
right?
no,
because there were a
let's
lot
be
of
real, let's be
bars
real.
in Aurora that, again, predominantly black crowd,
yeah.
and from what I could see, nothing but black DJs. So now I'm wondering, am I not getting a shot because
you don't look
right,
you don't look
and
like
nobody wants to give me even a chance to prove, like, hey, bro, I can play whatever these people want, right? Like,
right?
Because again,
because
you
a
get that
DJ is a person that you know all music, you
Right.
listen to all music.
But sometimes people are like, well, he probably only plays Latino music, and my crowd's not trying to hear that or whatever.
That's crazy that you
now-
judge off that.
Now I don't know, right? It was always up here.
Okay,
I always wondered, is that part of it? And to be honest with you, nothing ever came about like, yo, that is why they didn't hire me. It was a doubt of my own. You feel me? A lot of times was like, well, why can't I book these bars closer to downtown? Is it because I'm an older DJ? I'm an older guy who got into this game a little bit late. I'm wondering, if I was 10 years younger, would I be getting these gigs? You feel me? A lot of the time for weddings, high-end weddings.
The corporate, the weddings and the corporate gigs,
stuff.
they get that. You
Am
get
I
that
not
bag.
getting picked because I'm brown? Is that a thing? I don't know. You know what I mean? And like I said, I really try not to think of that. And as I get older, I've stopped thinking like that. But when you're first in it, you just, instead of looking at, well, I booked 4 things this month, I looked at it like, why did I only book 4 things?
Exactly.
You
So
feel me?
you look at sometimes you look at the glass half empty.
Oh,
instead
it
of
was
half
half
full.
empty all the time.
All the time. Whoa,
All the time.
That mentality and that type of thinking, man, like that drains you.
It did. It really did. Honestly,
Be honest.
I've always had confidence in certain things. Never had self-doubt talking to women.
Right.
Never had self-doubt going into certain places and knowing about certain things, sports, stuff like that. But career-wise, DJ-wise, a lot of self-doubt started because, again, the way I started out, being late in the game, so on and so forth. I didn't really start believing in myself until I started having people around me
give you that confidence.
to give me that. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Whether it be other artists or my wife or, you know what I mean? Sometimes you need that, man. You need that. And it doesn't matter.
All the time you need that.
Yeah.
I believe all the time you need that. You need the supportive group around you to help elevate you. You can't do this thing called life or whatever your craft is alone.
No, of course not.
You can't do it alone. And people really be thinking out here, I got it. I could do it all.
Yeah.
I could do it all. And it's like, bro, you're going to crumble faster. As soon as you get there, you're going to be drained by the time you get to whatever level that you're trying to reach. And then you're just going to fall.
Yeah. And I mean, it's always important to have quote unquote cheerleaders that are always there. So you always know this person's always going to pick me up. Right?
Always.
I always knew my wife was listening to my radio shows, and I would call her after the show and she would tell me, yeah, it was good. You did good here. this I didn't like, but she was never negative. Like she would tell me,
Yeah, she would just
work
tell you
on
the pros
this,
and
that, the
cons.
other.
Yeah.
But she was always positive, right? So I always knew that was there, and that helped tremendously.
Mm-hmm.
But the things that also really helped were every now and then you get an attaboy or a pat on the back from somebody that you don't expect, right? Quick little story.
Go ahead,
Just because we know them mutually. So I'm doing my radio show, The Box, right? It's a sports and hip hop talk show at the time.
Shout out to the box.
Yeah.
Shout out to the box.
And, I knew that I had regular listeners or whatever. And I knew I've had guests and people that have come on, but I didn't know that they listened all the time. So my man Hash hits me up about an hour after one of my shows. And he's like, yo, COS, dope show tonight. I loved it, man. I was entertained from beginning to end. And it was a surprise. I wasn't expecting it. He'd never said anything like that before. And so I was like, oh, wow, man. Thanks for listening. He said, dog, I listen every week, bro. Like every Monday, I'm right here at 7:00, ready to go. I love the show. And I was completely taken back.
Shout out to our boy Hash, man. Like he's a real one. The definition
really
of a real one. Like, let's not play with it.
So stuff like that too, like it made me feel so much better about my radio show and what I was doing, that, it made me go on for like another, 6 more months of doing it. And he didn't know it. I didn't express it to anybody. But at the time, I was doubting it. I was like, man, is this worth my time? Right? Do enough people listen and do enough people like this.
I do that with the podcast now because it's like, well, I'm not getting views that I want.
Right.
But this is all part of a stepping stone and a ladder to, what else is to come. Like, especially like for season 2 coming up and the sponsors that I want. Like this is just a stepping stone. And so with that doubt, I have to quickly and I would tell the viewers as well, you have to quickly let that go. Like if you harbor on that, you're done.
It'll eat you up.
It'll eat you up. And so I just I commend you, brother, for just keeping going and just
thank you.
I appreciate it. I want to give you your flowers too today. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna come right back. I got some more questions for DJ COS, but we're gonna take a quick break. Want to make sure y'all come right back. Stay tuned. We got more coming with Mr. DJ COS. My name is Wise, and this is the LikeMinds podcast.
Yep.
We'll be right back. Please make sure, ladies and gentlemen, that you follow LikeMinds Pod on everything. And also, if you want to be on the show, hit right down below the email, LikeMindsPodcast@outlook.com, and you'll be able to click that link, and you'll be able to send any email that you want to, and see if you can get on the show. We would love to have you. Also, make sure you follow us on Instagram as well. And then, please, ladies and gentlemen, make sure, hit that subscribe button, okay? Turn on your push notifications, hit that subscribe button, like, comment, share, everything else in between. Thank you for being a supporter. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. My name is Wise, and this is the LikeMinds podcast. And to my left, I have the radio host and DJ Colorado versus everybody, Mr. DJ COS. What's up,
Yes,
man?
sir.
I was glad to have you here.
Yeah,
again.
man. I appreciate you having me, man. I am a fan of the podcast. I've watched a couple episodes, man. I like, that you get your guests to open up.
Yes, sir.
And you know what I
Thank
mean?
you.
Like, again, kind of what we was talking about. Everyone's a DJ, everyone's a rapper. Feels like everyone got a podcast, but everyone talking about the same stuff. So I'm glad that you are delving into mental health and like really trying to get into your guests, personalities and heads more than just, let's talk about, whatever is currently going on.
Exactly.
Or whatever, you feel me?
Because everybody
that's
has
cool, but this is a nice change of spite.
Thank you, of course. Because I do it for a couple of reasons, man. Like the first reason, is my son, right? So as he gets older, if something happens to me, he'll be able to see me in this form, in this body, and he'll be like, "Oh, my dad. This is how my dad moved."
Yeah.
And so now he can follow that. And number 2, I do it because everybody has a brain, and everybody has these mental issues that we don't particularly like to discuss.
Sure.
And we push them to the side, or we push them down and be like, hey, I don't want to talk about it. And it's like, nah, you gotta grow. And that's why the podcast is all about elevation, motivation, and inspiration. Yeah. I'm trying to get you to your next level in whatever craft that you want to do. So I do it mainly for those 2 reasons, to help elevate them. And then the third reason is for me. I gotta elevate too. I'm dealing with stuff all day, every day. And so I appreciate you, man. Thank you. I really try to do something different with the show.
Before you get into next, I got a question for you.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. So you said that, right? Like you do it for you.
Yeah.
How many times have you done the show and something that the guest said or an answer that the guest had made you, like, you know what I mean, get in the riding back home and say, you know what, I ain't think of it that way, or that's a great outlook. What, you know what I'm saying? Like, have you had that kind of
slightly
experience?
And shout out to Hash again. He boy just be giving gems. He gave gems on his episode, and I really did go home and I started reflecting. It's like, yeah, bro, like what am I doing? I need to change some things. I need to elevate. And also Lady Cam, who was on the episode. So shout out to Lady Cam.
That was a dope interview too.
She hit me with some stuff that was just real, even off camera, and I was like, yeah, it's time to go to work.
Yeah. Shout out to Lady Cam.
Shout out to Lady Cam.
That was a dope interview too. I like that.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. So, we definitely have some guests on here that just make me think.
For sure. Okay.
Now let's get into it though.
Yeah, now I got to come up with even better answers.
Now you got to come up with better answers, and the pressure's on. And here it goes.
All right.
You can answer this question in the most deepest form or the most simplest form.
Okay.
Actually, I probably want both.
All right.
What is it like being a DJ?
Oh man, it's amazing, right? I got into it because I like being the center of attention. Straight up.
Me too.
Right? Like
Me
I
too.
got that ego. I like
ego.
being the center of attention.
Whoa.
And when you're at a party, when you are at a wedding, when you're at the club, whatever the case may be, he sets the tone. You feel me? And if it's a good night, it's because the DJ did his thing. You know what I mean? And so that's why I got into it. And when you have a good night, when you throw down a good set, when people are feeling you and you are watching girls walk out the bar holding their shoes and you got dudes coming up to you trying to buy, you know, hey man, you want a beer, dog? You want this? That? You know what you're doing.
You know what you did. You did a good
job. And so, you know, yeah, man, being the center of attention, rocking the party, being the you know, the reason why everyone had a good night, and regardless of whatever the setting was. You feel me? And being able to spread music to everybody. All right. That's my other favorite thing is when somebody comes up and is like, yo, who is this? What is this? What, I've never heard this before. Who is this? Right. Or, yo, I love the way you mix this song with this song. I never heard that before. I love it. That's always a good.
It's like, that was the power
always,
of the back.
Always,
like,
always.
yo,
For
like,
a DJ, that's
to get all those type of compliments is like,
yeah, for sure.
What is what's a bad DJ?
What's the worst thing about being a DJ?
Yeah, what's the okay, sorry. What's the worst thing about being a DJ?
Okay.
Let's start with that question first. And then we'll go into the other one.
All right, this is a pretty petty and simple answer, but the
Oh,
worst thing about being a DJ is everybody thinks that your job is easy. And, you know,
Man, talk about it.
Being a DJ is easy. When people don't realize is the only people that realize this are wives, girlfriends, and friends of DJs that show up in the very beginning. We have to be at the club before it opens. So we are there at 8 p.m. We ain't there, right? Just because you showed up at 10 and it's packed don't mean I just got there 5 minutes before you.
That means
I've
you was
been
there
here
for 2 or 3 hours
since
before.
8 o'clock at night. And I'm going to be there until 2:30, 3 o'clock when the bar counts out and the owner decides to pay you and send you home, right? And sometimes the bar owner is a jerk and he don't pay you or you got to argue with him. So all these people that think that, you know what I mean? Oh, dude, all you got to do is show up, play a couple jams, you know what I mean? Talk to some girls, flirt, whatever. Like DJ's got it made, bro. This is a job. I am here before you got here and I'm going to be here by the time you are in line for the tacos or, you know what I mean? You pulling up to that girl's house that you've been buying drinks for all night. I'm still at the bar waiting to get paid, my guy. You feel me? It's a job. Weddings are even worse.
I heard
I'm
weddings
bringing
are worse.
speakers. I'm bringing cords, all that stuff. And when it's all over, I got to tear it all down.
By yourself.
Put it in my car, drive it home, unpack it, take it up to my 3rd floor apartment. Like, bruh, it's
not for the weak.
Being a DJ is fun, but it is a job. So if you know somebody that's a DJ and that's their main source of income, don't just brush that off like he don't got a real job.
Yeah, no, it's a real job.
F that. It's a
People,
real job.
especially DJs who's battle, like
Can you tell like that? Like that's like a thing.
Yeah,
for me,
I can
dog.
tell because I can tell
It
you
get
get-
under my skin
yo,
when
like,
people
you
try to
get-
do
You
that.
getting real tight right now.
A little bit, bro, because I had to deal with it a lot, man. My parents, again, I really didn't get into this thing until late 20s. I did not become a DJ at 18, 19 years old and did it all, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I really didn't get into the game till late. And, you know, I'm telling my parents, for a long time, DJing was my only source of income, right? And I'm telling my parents, like, I got a job. I'm a DJ. And both of them would just look at me like
what is that? Like, because
so disappointed.
they disappoint them because they don't know. Like, in their mind, they're thinking,
Right.
this is a hobby. This is not a real job because it's not corporate America.
Yeah, they didn't start accepting it until like I went like 6 months, 8 months, a year without having to be like, hey, you think I can hold like $100 till next week?
Yeah, because
Like,
well, we
once
ain't
I
gotta discuss
stopped
prices,
asking
but
them for money, then they're like, okay, maybe this really is a real thing, and he's paying
that's
his bills.
I swear that's the benchmark for all parents. It's like the minute that you stop asking me, I know you you doing something.
For sure.
Now, the second part of that question, I believe, was what's the if there's a good DJ, what's a bad DJ?
Like what makes a bad DJ?
What makes a bad DJ?
Oh man, I don't know.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You just, like, yeah, it's okay.
You
It's
know,
okay. You can say it.
I mean, like I said, club DJs, wedding DJs. If you can't take requests, you slipping, bro. Like, I get it. You get to a certain level, and you know maybe you are the smartest guy in the room when it comes to, you know, what is the right music to play.
Right.
But at the end of the day, like these people want to be entertained and they want to dance and they know what's going to make them dance. So these DJs that go in and they're like, I'm going to play this set and you guys are either going to like it or
love
not.
it or hate it.
Like, nah,
whatever.
bro.
That's how you don't get booked again.
Yeah,
And that's how you also get
It's
get
goofy.
it's goofy. Like,
If
that's
you
how you get
can't-
X'd
yeah.
out.
If you can't play requests,
That's how you get tips.
You drop a notch for me, at least for me.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes
The
sense.
other thing is, you know, this is a customer-friendly, customer service-based job. It really is, right?
I have to believe every job is customer service
Well,
to
sure.
a degree. But,
Yeah.
well, go ahead.
But
Sorry.
you know what I mean? If you're getting booked for a private event, the person that paid you, like you are there to please them. You feel me?
Exactly.
Their guests, same thing. If you play every song that the bride wants, that's great. But if you are a jerk to her sister-in-law who's just coming up trying to request stuff and you blow her off or say something wild to her, it's going to be a bad look. You
And
feel
you're
me?
done.
Right.
You're done, especially in the wedding scene.
So I guess being a bad DJ, it has nothing to do with mixing, beat matching, none of that, right? Because everyone got their own style and everyone does it their own way. If you can rock on everything from turntables to the newest equipment, good for you. That's dope.
Yes, sir.
But people at the club, they don't care. People at weddings, they don't care what equipment you're on. They just want you to make them dance. You feel me? They don't care if you got the latest turntables or if you old school and you.
That's
can
for the
rock
nerds. That's for the nerds. That's for the
It's
forum.
for DJs.
It's for DJs
It's
to
for
know.
DJs.
But the client, which is the customer,
They don't care.
they do not care whatsoever. It doesn't matter, bro. Ain't nobody worrying about that. You just
Exactly.
got the new Tractor Pro 2.
Yeah,
and
yeah, no one cares
with the
about that.
Serato extended package.
Yeah.
Don't nobody care about
They
that,
don't
bro.
care.
You put, and the fact that you put it in the simplest of terms, pleasing the customer. Pleasing,
Pleasing
the
the customer. If you can't do requests, and if you are just a straight jerk, I mean, whether it's be on the mic or whatever, if you're just a, I mean,
Have you
That's
have
re-
you had that happen to where like you've been like a co-DJ at somewhere and you saw somebody you was like
yeah, all the time,
all the time,
all the time, man.
Is it-
Especially coming up.
it's a regular in the industry.
Yeah, man. I used to MC for a DJ that was way bigger than me, right? So I'm still DJ COS, but I'm not. This is early in my career. I'm not getting booked. This dude is on the radio. He's getting booked. He's a regular at this bar for ladies' night, and he hit me up and was like, "Yo, rock this party with me." I'm thinking he wants me to DJ with him. When I show up, he hands me the mic and basically just wants me to host. Cause I'm, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm nice on the mic or whatever, right?
Wow. I mean that's not bad, but dang,
Right,
at least
but-
give you a heads up.
Right. Long story short is I'm not getting paid as much as he is because he's the DJ and I'm the MC.
Right.
And the only reason why he asked me to do it was because the owner of the bar told him either find an MC or you can't work here no more because he used to drink so much. And then he would get on the mic and he would be a jerk and he'd be calling out girls on the mic. He'd be, you know what I'm saying, like dogging girls.
That's bad DJ techniques just right there.
Bro.
Everybody out there watching.
Like he asked me to do it to basically save his job, right? And it did. I would see it throughout the night. He would have too much to drink and then he'd start being a jerk to me. He'd start trying to take the mic and I'm like, nah, bro. I'm here to do a job that
you asked me to do. Mm-hmm. I'm not getting paid for a lot of.
Right. So
this is wild. That's
mic
wild.
etiquette is a real thing, whether you're at the club or a private event, at a hip hop show. Just know what you're saying because what you're saying, everybody in the building is hearing you.
Loud and clear too.
Yeah, exactly.
you're not getting away. There's nothing you can
amplify in 4K.
Exactly. Like with the visuals in the
exactly.
back. Last question, and then we're going to just take another quick break, and then we're going to come back with Hot Seat, which is where we ask some tough questions, but we also get some real answers, real questions, real answers.
Sure.
But right before we get into that, this question right here, sir, how does DJing affect your personal life?
It affects it a lot, especially early on because I didn't know how to balance, right? Also, I was still in the mentality of being a player, right? I thought having multiple women made me cooler than I really was.
Yes, sir. I understand.
And being a DJ, that is a perk. If that's your style, it is a lot easier to get girls or whatever, right? Yeah. And I didn't know how to balance that, man. So that affected my personal life a lot because I was just messy, right? I'd have multiple girls come to the same gig. And stuff like that. Yeah, I was just messy.
That guy.
Yeah, so that really, honestly, like people are gonna see this. Women are gonna see this. My wife's gonna see this, and they're gonna remember. Like, yeah, I remember COS back then.
Shout out to the wife, just first and foremost.
For sure.
Shout out to the wife.
But you know what I mean? Like, it made my love life very messy for a very long time, and it took a lot for me to grow as a man to finally like wrangle that in and wipe that out. You feel me?
Yeah. I'm still learning.
But the other thing is, again, I got 4 children, right? I got a stepdaughter and I got 3 kids of my own. And again, I can admit, not proudly at all, that a lot of times I chose DJing over spending time with my kids. And now, again, it took a lot for me to grow as a man and to realize, you know, every year is special for the kids, but it is a special time, right? Them growing up, whatever age they're in. But it took a lot for me to finally realize, like, hey, Doug, this DJing stuff is eventually going to stop. People at the bar don't care about you like that. I mean, some might. Some of the artists, you know, are genuinely your friends and care
like,
for you, but
like the peers that you meet, but
they're not
generally.
anything.
And once you leave the bar or once you leave the club,
exactly,
ain't nobody really thinking about you.
Yeah, exactly. But your kids, that's different. So again, I had to grow as a man and grow as a father to realize, like, you know what, Doug, you don't have to take every gig. Not every weekend do you have to be DJing. Yeah, it's making money and providing for your family, but there's also times where, you know what I mean, that's not the most important thing. So,
and I'm nervous of that too, because as I'm rising up,
balancing it, yeah, man,
balancing
it's
that,
a tough thing.
Because it's like, all right, well, you want me to go work and provide.
Sure.
That means, if I'm doing it in a DJ term, I'm out every single weekend. I come home late as I don't know what. We're not going to spend quality time. I'm always tired. But you're like, well, and then you're like, well, you're not spending quality time. Well, which one do you want?
Yeah, I mean, some of it's a cop-out, too.
Some of it.
Like, you could easily say, oh, well, you want me to provide, I have to work. Okay, cool. I got 2 jobs, man.
Right. And then if I don't work, and if I'm slacking, what's going on?
Right.
So it's like, it's this, that balance.
Well, here's one thing I'll tell people that are kind of, because it's easy, not necessarily a workaholic, but just addicted to money, making money.
Yes, sir.
Which is a good thing, right? Again, shout out to everybody who hustles and makes a bunch of money. That's great. But what's the point of having a bunch of money if you don't have anybody to share it with and no time to spend it? You feel me? Like,
that's the reason why we work, is so we can get time back.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So again, it was very easy for me to say, well, hey, I got to make this money, so I'm going to be gone. But in reality, the money was a part of it, but it was also, I wanted to go out and be the center of attention.
That
You know
ego,
what I mean?
it's that ego.
Exactly. It was
that
the
ego
it was the
crept
ego.
in, and that ego needs to. Sometimes your ego needs to die, and
Definitely.
I'm learning that phase right now because I got my own little ego. You know, my shades on
Everybody
and-
does. Yeah.
and everybody has it, and it's just like, is that really worth it? is it worth it in the end, like, to really have your ego have it there, but then lose everything else?
Sure.
And it's like, no.
Well, let me tell you, as somebody older,
Yes,
right,
sir.
and has older kids,
Tell me.
because I know
Tell me.
you
Tell
got a
me.
youngster.
Yes, sir.
It's not worth it, dog. You know what I mean? Trust me, balance is key in any profession that you have. It doesn't matter what your job is or what you do. You have to have that balance, because eventually your child, son, daughter, whatever, is going to grow up to be an adult. And if they turn out a jerk, you know
It's
what I mean,
because
or a
it's-
bad person,
You are the
had-
influence of that.
Yeah,
because you wasn't
you
around.
had a hand in that, bro.
You had a
You know what I
hand.
mean, you don't want that. So
I definitely don't for my son. So
yeah, find a balance and find it early. You got a young little guy.
I got he's 8 months.
There you go. Yeah, find the balance early, because before you know it, he's gonna be 8 years old. He's gonna be 18 years old, and he will know the difference between, you know what I'm saying, dad is here and
Dad is
supporting
here,
me,
or
and he ain't.
dad at work, or
Exactly.
he always got to do a show, or he always on a tour.
Yeah, trust me.
That's
Find that balance early, dog, because
I will.
it took me way too long. Honestly, I lost precious years with all my kids because
You was always working. You was always doing something. You was doing something else. You was like,
Mm-hmm.
man, have you ever missed like some graduations? And
no, I mean nothing like that. But
That's nothing
you
big, but
just
time.
missing precious time, man. Especially, if you're not with your kid's mom and that's not always smoothed out and stuff. Like, you got a lot as a dad, as a man in today's society. You, especially when it becomes being a parent,
yes, sir.
you got a lot to deal with, man. You got a lot of uphill battles, right? You go into a family court, you are not the favorite there. You know what I'm
Never.
saying?
It's
And you
never
are
the
not-
favorite with us. It's
Yeah.
never the favorite with us.
And I mean, you
You have to
can,
literally go fight for somebody that
Yeah.
we had a helping hand in making. Like,
you can
that's-
sit
that's the
around
crazy-
and cry
that's the
about
crazy
it,
part.
but at the end of the day, like, you just, like, the sooner you realize, hey man, she's gonna get the calls here. She gonna get the favoritism or whatever.
Right, which is I get that. That makes sense.
So when you go, be prepared, and you know what I mean, like, just be ready for that. Because I think as men in our society, we are used to having the upper hand pretty much every day.
all the time and everywhere.
All the time, right?
Yes, sir.
In the corporate world, wherever.
That's the
In
one
that,
place.
In that part, we don't.
We don't.
And if
we-
you're not prepared, you will get
will lose.
blindsided in the courtroom. Trust me.
I don't want that for
So
sure.
yeah, again, you're battling that battle, right? You're pushing that rock up that hill.
Yes, sir.
Don't make the rock bigger by, picking your job over time with your son, because trust me, your baby moms will use it against you.
Bruh.
It will happen.
He's speaking
It
some
will
real
happen.
stuff
And
right now.
I'm not even saying
He not even
bitter baby
Yeah,
moms.
he not
It's
even
just-
saying bitter baby mom. He just saying in general of how that works.
like you just said, you helped make it, bro. So help raise it.
Facts. I got one more question actually
All right.
before we go to the break. We're gonna leave it on a lighter note. Going back to like the business portion, right? When did you start with DJing? Start making it a business for yourself? Like, when did you was like, I probably need to go get an LLC and
All that, yeah.
all that good stuff? Like, when did that start?
When I started doing more than just DJing, I got a break hosting a internet radio show called Geek Street Society. I hosted a hip hop talk show for 80 episodes,
Okay.
80 weeks. And that's when I started realizing, like, if I have goals to go beyond just playing at bars or playing weddings or whatever, I should start taking this more serious. So I started branding myself and making sure. I also saw where people didn't own their name, own the rights to their company name or their logos. And there was a vindictive dude that ended up taking it and messing with them because they didn't have their ducks
at that point. That's not even on him. That's on you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's on you.
So, realizing like, hey man, if you really want to do this and this is how you're going to make your living, you got to treat it as such and treat it like a business. So, once I started hosting radio stuff and doing shows and, artists are coming to me asking me, can you play my song on your show? Can you DJ for me? And now all of a sudden I am representing more than just myself. I'm representing Colorado hip hop. I'm representing my family as well as representing DJ COS. So that's when it started becoming, I'm representing this internet radio station. Like, you know what I mean? And that's when I'm like, all right, it's time to take this for real, start doing contracts and start,
Oh yeah, when a contract, it's funny when you start doing contracts, everybody want to be like, "Come on, man! Like, remember you did this? That was a couple years ago."
And that's when like, all right, well, then you really ain't about your business.
I guess you really ain't about the business, and you really don't want to mess with me. You really don't want me to.
If it's a straightforward deal, should be nothing to sign it.
Facts.
Just saying.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back with Hot Seat with Mr. DJ COS. My name is Wise, and this is the LikeMinds podcast.
Yep.
Stay tuned. Yo, what's up, people? It is your boy Wives reporting live. Welcome back to the LikeMinds podcast. To my left, I have Mr. DJ COS, and as y'all can see by the red lighting, it is time for Hot Seat, where we ask some real questions and get some real answers. Mr. COS, are you ready?
I guess, man. We about to find out.
Are you gonna cry?
Ask me. I'm gonna try not to, Doug.
All right, okay.
Don't ask me stuff about my kids and my mama. No, I'm just playing. You ask me whatever you want, dog.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
do it.
I love it. Okay. First question. I'm going to start off light and it's going to go a little heavy.
All right.
First question is, what doubt has had the most hold on you?
Yeah, man. Doubt of being a good father. You know what I mean?
That too.
Being a good father, being a good role model to my kids, and making sure that they know that I love them, right? It's a big deal because I am not the best at expressing that. And again, shout out to my wife because she has helped me tremendously with that. Just a short, small example. My son is 17. Shout out to my man Isaac. And up until not too long ago, we would talk on the phone and we would just say bye. And my wife, every time I talk to him and she is anywhere within an earshot, she tells me, tell him you love him. And now it's becoming a habit. But before it wasn't a thing, bye. Because me and my dad didn't do that. You feel me? And she's like, yo, tell him you love him because you don't know when the next chance you're going to get to tell him. And recently, Thanksgiving and New Year's, I was in the hospital. I got a bad heart, bro. Yeah. And I was dealing with a lot. And
glad you're okay, man.
Yeah, thank you.
God is good.
But yeah, man, it's a cliche, but you never know when the day's the day. So make sure that the people around you that you love and care about know that you love and care about them, even if it is something as simple as telling them that you love them. So, but my biggest, you know what I mean, like
the biggest
doubt,
hold. The biggest hold as a doubt was the fatherhood.
Yeah. Just making sure that I am being a good example, I'm showing my kids love, but I'm also showing them the right path. Right? I got 2 boys, 2 girls. Gotta make sure that I'm showing them both the right path.
And you're not even gonna know that until they're out your house, until they face those real world issues. Like, of course, you're gonna give little small inclinations of it, but you're really not gonna know until they come back and be like, say, Dad, this is what happened. Yeah, what do I do? When you get that call, then you be like, all right, well, I taught you. Let's see what you do.
Sure.
Second question. Okay, you handled that pretty well. Do you believe your doubt has led to you to not be as successful as you want to be?
Definitely. Definitely. Like I said, I try not to let it run my life, and I definitely do a very good job up until today.
Sorry, guys.
Not letting it be known that I do doubt myself a lot. But yeah, for
It's normal,
sure,
man.
a lot of times I've, just didn't think that I was at that level to holla at somebody or, shoot my shot with a certain opportunity. You know what I mean? Like last year. So shout out to Squizzy Taylor, right?
Shout out Squizzy.
Biggest DJ in Colorado.
Shout out to the whole Squizzy Taylor gang over there.
He is the official DJ for the Denver Broncos. It's a dream gig.
Dream gig. I know.
And when Bed stepped down and was no longer that, there was an opening, and it was a wild dream of mine to be that, because I'm a huge Bronco fan.
It makes sense for you to be.
And for me to be able to be that would be amazing, right? That goes at the top of the resume. That's what I start out with. I am the Denver Broncos official DJ. Right? I would make everybody address me as such if that is what would happen. But
yes, sir.
I didn't believe enough in myself to even try to shoot my shot and throw. And here's the crazy thing. My mother worked for Channel 4, who for a very long time, who airs all the games, does business with the Broncos. I've done events that are associated with the Broncos. So
you could have been. You had the plug.
I had the resource to at least talk to the right person, to at least throw my hat in the ring.
Right.
But I didn't, because I didn't think I was worthy. Now,
that's wild, bro.
Regardless of whether I legitimately am or not, that's not for me to decide.
Right, that's not for
right.
you.
But I didn't even shoot my shot because I didn't think I was worthy, and it's a regret, because I know Squizzy gonna hold it down for years.
He gonna hold it down for years.
Yeah,
he gonna hold that until you move out of state.
Right. But other opportunities come along, and who knows, man? In a couple years,
Prom may call you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, you never know. So, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely affected a lot of stuff, and I have held myself back probably more than any other aspect that's held me back. For sure. I know it for sure. Whether it be self-doubt
your biggest
or
drawback
making bad
is you.
decision. Yeah.
It's you. It's all you, and a lot
For
of people
sure.
don't want to take those accountabilities. And I have been I've been a victim of that as well. I have to take my accountabilities with what I'm doing and how I'm living my life, and the people that I'm affecting, and even like in the career path that that especially that we're doing, and especially like in the entertainment world.
Sure.
It's like, bro, you got to step up. It's all you at the end of it.
Well, not only like self-doubt has affected like me just trying to get gigs, but it's also affected straight up money-wise, right? Again, I'm gonna keep it real with you.
Keep it all the way 100.
You just messaged me the other day asking me about an opportunity, and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, okay, well, what am I going to quote this man? Because we do have a history, right? We have a friendship outside of the business relationship that we have. So obviously, I don't want to try to hustle you.
Hustle him.
But at the same time, I need to make sure that this is worth my time, because it is going to take time away from my family. So what is it worth? And what I got to find that balance, because if I throw a crazy number at you, for all I know, you look at your phone and go, dog, you are not worth that.
And a lot of people get that. So
I've also allowed my self-doubt to stop me from setting my price at probably what it should be. And it took me 12 years in the game to finally start realizing that and start coming around.
12 years?
Yeah, dog. I mean, this is all a recent thing. Like, right? Like me becoming a better man, a better father, a better husband, and a better DJ. I have made the most progress in the last 2 years than I have in the last.
It's crazy how that short time span, when you switch your mindset, and we talk about this a lot, and I'm working on it as well. When you switch that mentality,
yeah,
and you say, hey, look, I'm going to do it this way because this way for the last 10, 15, 20 years didn't work. Let me try this, and I promise that you're going to get way further quicker.
Yeah, for sure.
That's crazy.
Definitely.
Okay, you're handling hot seat very well. He not sweating yet.
Not yet.
He not crying yet. Let's keep going. Third question. where do you stand as of now in your mental health?
Pretty pretty good, I guess. We all got our days, right? Sometimes I chalk it up as, well, today's just not a good day, right? Good days, bad days, so on and so forth. It's a work in progress, man. It's a work in progress, definitely.
Tell them again.
Trying again. I tell everybody this, man, woman, black, white, brown. It don't matter, man. Every day we learn something new. We are growing as a human being, as an adult. Growing up doesn't stop at 18, 21, 25, 30, 40, 50, 90 years old. You are growing every single day until your last breath. And
yes, sir.
So it's a work in progress, man. I definitely had some dips, worried about my health, worried about stuff with my kids, worried about stuff with my girl, with my career, all of those things. I can confidently say I have more good days than bad. So that's always a plus.
That's always a plus. That's a good thing.
So yeah, it's a work in progress, man. I'm pretty good at hiding it. I won't lie. I'm pretty good at hiding it.
Man, I am too. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, okay. So let me ask you, right? Like,
go ahead.
You know me somewhat personally,
yeah, somewhat yes,
right?
Sir.
But for the most part, most of our interactions are on social media, and you see me from afar.
Yes,
Does
sir.
it seem like I am somebody that's unhappy with my life?
No.
And I'm not saying that I am.
Right. No,
but I'm just saying,
I get it.
Right. I am not one to vent onto social media. And sometimes, for some
I ain't
people,
gonna lie, every now and then I see you because it's because somebody agitated you and you know
right.
somebody popped off
but
and you was
to
like,
get
let me
like
correct
super
you.
personal,
Yeah,
like
super
me
personal.
letting my own personal like issues out, it's just something I don't do. I don't talk about my relationship. I don't talk about what happens in my home, and I don't talk about my health and stuff like that on social media,
which is good because if you because people will use that, people will try to leverage that.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Like,
no, again, I tell people everyone's different, man. Some people that is their therapy. They feel better when they talk about stuff on social media and they get input from other people. You feel me? So I'm not going to sit here and tell people don't vent on the internet. Don't vent on social media because the peanut gallery is just going to take it and try to use it against you.
Right.
Sometimes that does
Sometimes
happen.
it happens.
Some people do. And if that seems to happen to you more than not, then maybe evaluate the people that you have on your social media.
And in your circle.
Exactly. But if you have positive people around you and people that are going to give you genuine advice and genuine like input into what your problem is, as opposed to, ooh, did you see Wise crying on the internet today?
Man.
He always got a problem with a girl, or he always got a problem with a baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, right? If you got those kind of people, then yeah, dog, start tightening up your circle.
Exactly.
Right? Start cleaning house. But, if you got people, like I would like to think myself, has people like that is like, hey, dog, let me school you real quick.
Call
or at
me.
least let me tell you what I think, right? And
yes,
like
sir.
gives you genuine advice or guidance or their opinion, whether you...
And you've done that, and you've done that a couple times with me. So
when you got those kind of people, you'll start to realize maybe venting on the internet is good for you. For me, again, I started off on the wrong foot, and it took a long time for me to get on the right foot. I have a lot more positive people around me, not only on my social media, but around me personally on an everyday level. And so now I probably would be more comfortable about doing it. But when you get in the habit of not doing something, it's kind
of hard to break it.
Right.
Yeah. That makes sense.
But yeah, to answer your question, work in progress, more good days than bad days. That's where I'll put it.
All right. I appreciate that answer. I appreciate the honesty. Thank you for your transparency.
Yeah.
He like, yo, why is this man asking me? It's okay though, like we here, and this is what we're here for. It's not really for you. It's for a 10-year-old or a 12-year-old or a 16-year-old that's watching.
Sure.
And they need that reassurance, or they need that reflection back. So
I got you.
Question number 4. What has triggered you in recent years that has lowered your confidence level?
I mean, for me personally, accepting that I'm getting older, accepting, like we was making jokes, dad bods.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a part of life. It is healthy for you to love the skin that you're in, love your body, love you know what I'm saying, all of that, your personal appearance.
Self-love.
But there is also nothing wrong with wanting to better it. You feel me? And so, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of getting off topic or off subject.
It's okay.
I guess
it's okay. We can go wherever you want to go.
You know, it's just accepting getting old, being out of shape, trying to get back in shape, dealing with health issues, dealing with trying to be a better man and try to do things differently than I'm used to doing. You know what I'm saying? Steering away from temptations,
Man.
you know, things like that. So, you know,
that's an everyday occurrence. That's something that you can't just be like, all right, one day I'm gonna do this, and the next day, all right, I'm over it. Like, no, it's not. You can't. Nobody quits it cold turkey.
Right.
So,
The thing with getting older is it's a double-edged sword, because you have an expectation, especially of people older than you. Not even necessarily. Let me rephrase that. You have an expectation of people that care about you. They look at you and they're like, "Hey, man, you're 40. Time to stop.
Time to stop doing.
Right? Time to start
doing something else.
This, and this.
Right.
But then you also got that other side, usually younger people, that are like, "Damn, dog, you're 40? Like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing out here? You're 40 and you're still doing hip hop shows. You're 40 and you're still DJing at the bar. Like, you're 40 and this is all you've accomplished."
You know what it is? It's the expectation that social media has been setting, and the realistic versus the fake. There's life is not social media, and life is not what your perception is supposed to be of it. Life is whatever you make it, and whatever accolades and whatever things that you do in it, that's what you do in it. And people really have this expectation for something that something that they didn't even do. Like they love to judge somebody when to be honest, they can't step behind a DJ booth and do what you do.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's just wild that some people, especially when the younger people do it, especially them. It's like, how can you say anything? Like, are you doing what I'm doing? Are you connected with the people that I'm connected with? Are you know what I'm saying?
It's a gift and a curse.
It's a gift and a curse.
Some people look at it like, you're wise. No pun intended.
Right.
You feel me? Some people look at it like, yo, you 40, you know what's up, school me to the game. Other people look at it and they're like, dog, you're 40, you can't tell me nothing. Just go be an old man somewhere.
And 40 is young.
Not to everybody.
That's wild.
And that's why I'm saying it's me learning how to accept that I am getting older, and I am now to the point in my life where it's like, hey, Doug, it's time to not figure it out. It's time to start executing it. You know what it is. Stop talking about it and start doing it. You know what I mean? Not start doing it, just do it.
Just do it. I'm learning now, right now in this moment.
Well, that's a good thing, man. I told somebody between the break. It happens. They come around. It may be fast. It may, right? Not everybody can be rookie of the year. Sometimes you got to be the most improved player by your 10th season. You feel me? Not everybody gets it right out the gate. Not everyone's a success. You know what I'm saying?
And everybody's success levels is different. Everybody.
And I'm not, I mean, obviously, and when I say success, I'm not talking about making money,
right,
or, being where you're at in your career or whatever path you choose. I'm talking about just being a man, being an adult, being a woman. Like, some people, it takes longer for them to come around, but eventually, if they're a good person and they got a good heart, they will come around. That's all.
Love it. Got one more question for you.
All right.
One more question, and then we're gonna be doing. I see it. I know you're feeling it right now. And this is a huge question, but taking a stride, however you want to answer it, you answer it.
Okay.
Are you healed?
No, nobody is. Nobody is. I don't think ever. Everybody has an issue. Whether it be with their childhood, their current situation, they got their heart broke, they've been done dirty, something traumatic happened to them in their life, whatever the case may be. No one is ever fully healed because everybody
Right,
has their
I
own
believe
different
that's-
problem. So no, I'm not. Do I got more
Growth.
wounds
Yeah.
than the next guy? No, I don't think so either. You feel me? And I mean, I guess the only thing I can say, I guess kind of proudly, I don't know, everyone looks at it differently, is nobody will ever know. Nobody will ever know if I got more wounds than you got, if I got more wounds than him or her or anybody else, right? Because those are my wounds and that's what I'm going to deal with.
Right.
But just like everybody got to deal with something, past, present, whatever, I'm not, and I don't think anybody is. You can be the most enlightened, happy, successful person in the world. You got something that somebody else would consider wrong with you, whether it be inside or outside.
Right.
Feel me?
Because that's life, and everybody has
Yeah,
something
man.
different.
So, yeah, no, I'm not, and I don't believe anybody is. But it doesn't mean that we're all a bunch of head cases walking around and, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, that don't mean that either. Just everybody got something, man. Everybody got something they got to deal with. Some people got more than others. Some people show it more than others. Some people are good at hiding it. You know, some people need to.
We all
lean on
fighting.
somebody
We all
else.
fighting some demons. We all fighting something.
Oh, of course, everybody does.
Everybody, and don't let nobody think that they got it all together. Normally, the ones that be faking it, going through the most, through the most.
In my opinion, those are the ones that they think they're hiding it, but they're not, right?
Because we
they're-
can see right through it.
Mm-hmm. But again, that the people that can see right through it also don't make that person better than the next person either.
Right.
You feel me?
Because everybody's on an equal playing field.
For the most part.
For the most part.
Except for Raider fans. No, I'm just kidding.
Yo, we gonna do that here. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, look, we want to just thank COS. COS, thank you for being on the show today, man. You really did your thing with Hot Seat, and you gave us the gems, and I appreciate you, brother. I want to give you flowers right here while we both in the flesh. I admire you.
Thank you,
I
man.
love you, brother, because you are my brother. You are my fam. I appreciate you for everything that you are going to do, that you have done, and that you've done in the past for me, and just for everybody else. So I do appreciate you.
For sure, man.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Flowers return, man. You know what I mean? Keep doing your thing, Doug. I love what you're doing, not only as an artist, but all of the things that you got your hand in, right? I think that's probably my favorite thing about you, man, is you are not just a one-trick pony. You feel me?
Can't be.
You still trying to find your way, just like everybody is.
Of course.
But yeah, man, you know, I love it. I love the versatility, and just keep doing your thing, dog. You got to support it here for sure.
Man, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back. Please make sure, ladies and gentlemen, that you follow LikeMinds Pod on everything. And also, if you want to be on the show, hit right down below the email, LikeMindsPodcast@outlook.com, and you'll be able to click that link, and you'll be able to send any email that you want to, and you know, see if you can get on the show. We would love to have you. Also, make sure you follow us on Instagram as well. And then, please, ladies and gentlemen, make sure, hit that subscribe button, okay? Turn on your push notifications, hit that subscribe button, like, comment, share, everything else in between. Thank you for being a supporter. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. My name is Wise, and this is the LikeMinds Podcast. And to my left, I have Mr. DJ COS. We want to thank you, brother, for coming on again on the show, and the gems that you dropped for us.
Appreciate it.
Amazing. Now, please tell everybody, before you go, please tell everybody all your socials, any upcoming gigs, what's next for DJ COS.
All right. First and foremost, man, thank you for having me on the show. Big fan of the show. Honored to be on it. So thank you for that. Shout out to everybody that's going to view this thing, watch it, comment, like it, share it, all that stuff, man. We appreciate that for sure. You can follow me, Instagram, DJ COS5280, Facebook page, DJ COS303, and go to DJCOS5280.com. That's like the main spot. That's where I'm trying to direct everybody to. DJ COS, COS5280.com. Definitely check out that. Coming up in March, man, official DJ of the Colorado Spartans. It's Colorado's newest and freshest arena football team. They're going to be playing up north at the Budweiser Event Center, so make sure y'all check that out. And March 1st, I'm at the Yak and Yeti in Aurora doing a show with my man, DJ Sci-Fi, and the Mile High Boys, and a bunch of other dope Colorado artists, man. So shout out to Santana Jones on that one. And yeah, so go ahead, make sure y'all pull up to me on March 1st. But DJCOS52A.com. If you see me in the streets, don't be shy. Say what up. Show me love. I'm definitely going to show it back. And as I tell everybody all the time, every chance I get, support Colorado music, Colorado businesses, Colorado DJs, Colorado podcasts, Colorado teams. It's Colorado versus everybody. Let's go.
Man, appreciate you. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we are coming right back with Message of the Day. Stay tuned.
Dessert.
We coming live and direct.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is called Message of the Day, where we take the entire episode and we just recap it in a simple format with a few steps, just so that you can elevate yourself and whatever craft that you're doing in your mentality as well. But first and foremost, we want to thank DJ COS for coming onto the show. The gems that brother dropped. Love it. Make sure you go follow him on all those social media platforms as well. DJ COS. Appreciate you, King. Also, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel, okay? Text us in right now, 720-515-3685, okay, if you want to call in or text in. And also, LikeMinds podcast at outlook.com is also where you can email us as well. Follow us, LikeMinds Pod, on the Instagram as well, and you'll be able to get all the updates. Follow us on the YouTube. You're going to have all the information there for you. Let's get to it. So, step number 1. Practice self-compassion. Show yourself some compassion. Too many times, we see it and we think, it's like, hey, we don't give ourselves our own selves credit. We really don't. Sometimes we're hard on ourselves, and, so when something doesn't meet our expectations and that doubt comes in, it just simply drains our energy out. You have to give yourself some leeway, okay? You have to. It's important. You can't reach every single expectation in a time frame that you want, okay? Life doesn't happen that way. Show yourself some self-compassion. Step number 2. Don't compare yourself to others. In this social media-driven era, we see that, right? We see the comparison of what we think somebody has versus what's actually going on in reality. And even that can have a lasting negative impact and effect on how you view yourself. It creates the doubt. It brings down your confidence level to where you feel like you can't perform at the highest levels. You can't succeed to the expectations that you want. And it quite frankly just leads to a downfall and everything else. It's a domino effect. Okay? So please make sure that you don't compare yourself to everybody else. Just because it looks that way doesn't mean that that's the reality. Step number 3, spend time with supportive people. I can't stress this enough, guys. Having a supportive group of people around you builds your self-esteem. It builds your confidence. That doubt automatically kind of goes out the window. So you have to understand that these people in your circle, which you do have to be very careful about of who is in your circle, but these people in your circle, if they're coming from a positive place, are there to help you. They help to build you up. They help to elevate you, motivate you, and inspire you, to reach your greatest heights. Surround yourself with supportive people. And last but not least, guys, step number 4, journal. You have to journal. How else are you going to know what's going on? Sometimes writing down those thoughts actually create sort of a game plan of how to go forward. What are you thankful for? How is this helping me? How can I release this doubt? Where's this tension coming from? Why do I have anxiety? All these questions can probably be answered by your own thoughts if you simply just write it down. Because there you can devise a game plan. And then from that game plan, you can win. So let's do a quick old recap just so we make sure we got it. Step number 1, practice self-compassion. Step number 2, don't compare yourself to others. Step number 3, spend time with supportive people. And last but definitely not least, step number 4, journal your thoughts. Ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 9. And on the next episode is episode 10, which is the last episode of season 1. And I'm so thankful, so grateful that we are able to get to this point. My name is Wise, and this is the LikeMinds podcast. Until next time, peace.